it's Todd and Heather. We're back with the Orson Geeky Grilling Gala. We've ventured into all the different cuts of meat. I'll go shorter, so that you can feel empowered as you go to the grocery store, so that you'll know what types of meat you want to be able to prepare, but also not be intimidated by maybe what you're not seeing, right?
Yep.
And so we're gonna wrap it all up with this last one, talking all about pork.
So pork is very universal, very delicious. We all love bacon. We all love, good pulled pork. But we often overlook tenderloin and loin.
Okay.
So I wanted to talk about tenderloin. And you can buy tenderloins, pork tenderloins, between $2.50 and $4.50, $5 a pound max.
Yeah.
And so we've shown you some expensive meats today. We've done tomahawk, we've done New Yorks, we've done filet mignon that cost you anywhere between $12 and $20 a pound. This is a very economical and delicious way to serve.
I agree.
Okay, so number one, pork tenderloin. Don't be afraid, but there is a little bit of silver skin on this tenderloin, right at the end here. And so I just want to rip that silver skin off. Okay, it's very, very simple. It doesn't take a lot, but I just am holding the silver skin here, and I'm using my knife pointing up so that I don't get very much meat on that silver skin at all.
Okay.
Again, instant replay, slow motion.
You're not pressing down too hard.
Not pressing down hard at all. Now that fat is good. I'm going to leave it. Other than that, your tenderloins are ready. Okay. Now, when you marinate your tenderloin, again, remember the three things of marinating: flavor, acidity, and fat. So for this marinade, I'm actually very savory. I'm going to go with thyme all over the meat. Okay? A lot of herbs. Fresh sage.
Okay.
All over the meat. Okay? Boom, boom, boom. Cha, cha, cha. Ka, ka, ka. Garlic, plenty of it.
Okay.
More sage.
Just
green onions. Lots of salt and pepper.
Tell me why you
Good
like
seasoning.
the tenderloin.
Tenderloin is delicious. It's just very tender.
It's easy to cook. Is that why?
It's easy to cook. It's not very big. It doesn't take tons of time, but it can be dry and it can be kind of nasty if overcooked. You only want to cook this to 135 to 140 degrees. That's it.
Okay.
And that's okay. It's not chicken.
Okay.
Chicken 165. You have to kill it.
Yeah.
You have to make sure that it's hot enough to kill the bacteria. Pork, you can serve it pink.
Oh,
you
really?
can eat it medium. Okay? You don't want to eat it medium rare,
Hasn't
but
always
you
been
can.
that way, right?
Hasn't always been, but it's that way now.
Okay.
So you can definitely, utilize that to your advantage, because the more you overcook it, the more dry it is.
Yes,
and
which is what I think we all
yeah.
know of pork,
Right.
where it's like, okay, it doesn't really have flavor.
Worcestershire sauce, because we can and because it's more
hot.
savory and it's delicious. I am going to squeeze a tiny bit of lemon for freshness in there, because we're using very savory ingredients.
Okay.
And then last but certainly not least, after I stir, we are going to put on the
Barrier.
barrier oil. Okay, that's a very simple way to marinate pork, and these are so convenient now. They have a lot of options in the grocery stores that they come already marinated in bags.
Yes.
And I want to caution you on that and also promote it. It's very delicious, but every time I've ever tried one, it almost seems over marinated. And so I like to buy the fresh raw ones and just put my own flavor marinade on, and only do it for, again, between 20, 45 minutes is all I need to marinate these.
Not days
not days and days, because it totally changes the texture, and pretty soon you're not eating pork, you're eating marinade.
Okay.
So again, very simple, very delicious. Pork tenderloin going on the grill.
On the grill, not the smoker.
You can do this on the smoker or grill, but I prefer the grill because they're smaller.
Okay.
And we want to get char, we want to get flavor, and we don't want to overcook and dry it out, because it doesn't have a lot of fat.
Okay, let's take it out.
Grill it.
All right, the second part of our pork feature is going to be the what?
The pork loin.
The pork
Back straps.
Pork loin.
Pork loin. This is not tenderloin, this is actually the loin.
So what's the difference?
The difference is the tenderloin's underneath, and this is up on top of the ribs.
Okay.
Yep. And
do they cook differently?
They definitely cook differently. The
Okay.
tenderloin's definitely more soft, more subtle.
Okay.
And the pork loin is a little bit more forgiving, but again, can be dry if overcooked.
Okay.
I actually would love to see this on the smoker.
Okay.
And run the smoker about 275 to 300 for about an hour and a half to 2 hours, and this baby should be perfect.
Okay.
Okay, so.
And you keep it this large?
No, I'm gonna actually cut it down and show you a couple
Okay.
things to do with this.
Okay.
So, if you want to do boneless pork chops, guess what? Pork chop comes from the loin.
Okay.
Now you have a boneless pork chop.
And looks way better than the little dinky things you get at the grocery store.
Yeah, and you want a nice thick chop. So there's 4 amazing chops. Now that's the closer to the shoulder, and this part here where it gets a little darker
Okay.
is more closer to the sirloin or to the back leg.
Thank you for pointing
And
that out.
this is really what I would smoke because it's a little more forgiving.
Okay.
It's like the thigh meat.
Okay.
Don't get me started on thighs.
We already
But
went there.
it's like the thigh meat. So I'm gonna actually put this whole thing right on the smoker.
Okay.
And we're just gonna marinate it, season it, and do everything we want to it. But again, you can, on the pork loins, it's so versatile and so inexpensive. Pork loins will run you between $2 and $3.50.
And they're usually always on
Very
sale.
inexpensive and very flavorful,
Yes.
very delicious meat. And look at those nice little pork steaks. In my opinion, perfect size, not intimidating. Again, you don't want to overcook it. It's not chicken. You don't have to cook. Just cook it, sear it, make it delicious, mop it a little bit, and it's perfectly done.
Okay.
And then on the other hand, we're gonna smoke this whole side here. We're gonna first marinate it and get it flavorful and put it on the smoker and cook it for about 2 hours, an hour and a half. Around 275 to 300 is a good temperature.
Okay.
You can also sear it after, get a little more caramelization on if you want. You can put it onto your char grill, or you can just put it in a cast iron and kind of give it a little crispy. And again, you don't want to cook this over 135.
Okay.
You want to bring it to 135, let it rest and carve it.
Okay.
And it'll be so juicy and so delicious.
Let's flavor it up.
So flavoring this up is very simple. We're just gonna put some salt, rub some salt in there, rub some salt all over the whole baby. Okay, we're gonna go a little bit different with chili powder this time. We're gonna put a little bit of chili powder on there, a little chili rub. This will give it a little bit of spice, a little bit of kick, and it's gonna give it a nice little red color. Pit seasoning, lots of it. The more the better.
I agree.
And then we got garlic. You don't have to put garlic on, but
Why
I
not?
just love garlic. Now I'm gonna put some lime juice on this baby. That'll be nice with the chili that we've got scented on there.
And again, because that's your acid.
Yeah, this is my acid, flavor, acidity, and fat. And then once I got the lime all over that, again, we're gonna just go a little bit of oil.
Do you have a different ratio depending on the type of protein that you're using of your like fat, flavor, acid?
I don't really have a different ratio. I just do it to feel, and this is what I've always done, and it's always delicious.
Okay.
But the main thing is you don't want to overdo the acid, especially if you're marinating for longer periods of time.
Okay.
And you don't want to overdo the fat, because once you go to the grill or the smoker, it's just going to flame up.
Okay.
So you just want to do enough to coat it. And remember, my philosophy of marinating is less is better,
Okay.
because you want to eat meat.
Yes.
You want to only use the marinade to enhance and flavor the meat and not overtake it. But anyways, pork chops comes from the shoulder side of the loin.
Okay.
The smoking good part comes from the sirloin part of the loin. The reason why, this will be more moist, and this is perfect for grilling. Hey ho! Everybody looking for a little bit of what's up?
We're ready to go. Tell me what we've got on tap.
Beautiful
right now.
Atlantic salmon.
I love a good smoked salmon.
You love good smoked salmon?
Yes, I do.
Do you only smoke it?
I will do it in the oven, or I'll do it in the smoker. But
Can you
let's
do it
be-
on the char grill?
I don't,
Why?
because
Too harsh?
I'm a little forgetful.
Oh, forgetful.
And it's so easy in the oven and on the trigger that it makes it like, just do it.
Well, I agree with all of that. But I think an easy way to do it is to put it on these cedar planks that
Okay.
we've soaked in water. The reason why we soak them is
So they don't catch on
so they
fire.
don't catch on fire,
Because we do want them
which
to smoke.
we have done. Okay, so now our salmon is here, right?
Okay.
Now we're gonna season. Oh, I didn't get my salt and pepper actually,
Salt and pepper, okay.
which is very odd. So we've got our salmon here. We're gonna go on the cedar plank because that's gonna protect it. This salmon actually has skin on, so the skin can be that protection, But I find that a lot of times it will stick and cause problems, and trying to get the whole thing off when it's cooked, it wants to flake more. And so it's just more challenging to not have it plank.
Oh, yes, yes. Sorry.
But the skin will allow you to do it, and I think it's fine, but you have more problems. Okay. You don't want it to fall apart. And when you pull it off the grill, leave it on the board and serve it on the board.
Yes, I agree. Yes.
Okay? So now we're gonna just season, salt and pepper. Look how beautiful that fish is. Salmon is delicious.
It is, I agree.
Delicious.
Do you prefer to purchase it with skin on, or?
I like skin on. I just think it holds better and it's fresher.
Okay.
But
if you had an option.
Yeah, I would get skin on.
Go with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just my opinion, and I think I just think it holds better and is fresher. Now, you don't have to put garlic on, but garlic is delicious. But too much garlic on fish can be a little overbearing.
Yes.
Because fish, remember, it has very delicate, soft flavors. So we're not going to put tons and tons of garlic on, but when that smokes and that garlic kind of caramelizes and gets all lovely, it's really special actually. When you bite into that, it's delicious.
Is there certain flavors that you tend to always do with fish?
Fish, I just do lighter flavors and lots of citrus, lots of butter. Yep, lots of citrus, lots of butter. So now I'm putting green onions. Okay. That'll help flavor that as well. And that's kind of rough chopped green onion. Whoa.
Can I help you?
My fingers.
They wanted to all come on top of the fish.
Okay, like that. And then parsley, dill, parsley, any of those herbs will work great. Okay, now what I do is I'm gonna put butter, pats, all over the fish like so. Jeez, stick your fingers. Boom.
I mean, you're being like not using too much butter here.
No, yeah, you don't want a lot of butter. Don't be rude. Okay, here we go. Now salt, pepper.
So you salted and peppered first, and then.
And now it's all over the butter as well. Now you put a piece of lemon on each one of the butters.
Okay. Why is that?
That helps the butter kind of stay on longer instead of just
just
heating up and falling off.
See, I always know that there's a method to your madness.
Yep. Okay, now we kind of push that down, and then you put a little bit more love on top, more seasoning, and now she's ready to go to the smoker.
I have seen some people do like a foil tent.
Yeah, you can foil it. Again, the reason why is because you can just grab it, bring it to the dinner table, and eat. I just find that these boards are nice, and if they're soaked correctly and for long enough, you can reuse them.
Yes.
Because they won't burn, and you can just reuse them and just put them in the dishwasher.
Okay.
Who cares?
Really?
Sure.
Dishwasher?
Dishwasher.
Oh.
Wash them by hand.
Yes.
But after you wash them, just let them dry so they're not like sticking on top of each other.
Yes.
Just let them dry completely and then put them in the cupboard. I always actually wrap mine with plastic wrap because I know they're sanitary after I wash them.
After they're dry.
Then I wrap them with plastic wrap, then you can put them anywhere because they're covered.
Yeah.
Then when you go to use them, you untake the plastic wrap off and you have
So you let them dry first.
bling, of course.
Because I have put away wet skewers that I was soaking and
moldy.
got all moldy.
Yeah, moldy.
So make sure it's
Wasn't a good
completely
day in
dry,
the skewer world. Anyways, guys, smoke, grill salmon. It's a great way to do it. Remember, flavorings of your choice, but these are some of the ones we suggest. And don't overdo it. Just let it cook. Have fun.
Is this your least favorite? This is like, I love chicken.
I love chicken.
I love chicken. But I know it's not always as exciting.
So I thought to myself, what do I do to show everybody chicken?
Okay.
I mean, what do we know? We know boneless, skinless breasts, meat. We know thighs or legs whole.
Yes.
And we know whole chickens. But how many of us actually buy a whole chicken? You do?
I do. I mean, it's so
do you
easy
smoke
to
them
smoke
whole?
it. Yes.
Yeah, you smoke them whole for 4 hours and you're good to go.
Yes.
And I love them whole too. You know how much 2 chickens cost me today? $13. That's it, $13, and they're big.
They're really big.
So they're very cost effective. I love smoking chicken on Sunday.
Yes.
And then when I eat, I also grill a steak. So I have chicken and steak.
I think the thing that makes people a little nervous, so for instance, I cooked whole chickens for some friends and I gave them for dinner, and she called me later and was like, what do I do with this? Because it feels a little like, oh, wait a minute, how? And I was like, oh, just take a fork and go for it. But so as you're gonna
we're gonna do 2 processes. I'm gonna break it all down for everybody so they can see the parts and see how the process of chicken. Then we're gonna actually truss one whole how I would prepare it to go on the smoker.
Okay.
Okay, so first thing we wanna do is take the wing off, okay? And actually, before I do that, I'm gonna French this. I'll show you how to do a French chicken. So if I was gonna do a French breast, or another word for it would be airline breast.
Okay.
You're gonna hold that wing up like that, and you're gonna actually clean the bone off
You're much fancier
as
than
you're
I ever
as
would
you're
be.
on it. But see, this is so much easier. Then once you've got it like that, you literally just snap that wing off. Okay. And now the wing's off, and the bone is French. So now you have your wings, your wing tips. Okay, wings, wing tips.
Okay.
This wing is called the drumette, because
Okay.
this is almost like the drum, but it's smaller, so we call it the drumette. Okay, now we're gonna pull the legs off. By pulling the legs off, we just cut down and remove that fat. And now you're gonna grab that thigh bone with your thumb there.
Okay.
You're gonna flip that over. You're gonna pop that bone out of its joint. Now you can see that thigh bone is popped out of its joint.
Okay.
She's like, I'm never gonna do this. But you
No,
are.
I will.
Okay, then right here, you see that nice little muscle? That's called the oyster meat. You gotta come down, grab that oyster meat with your knife, and then follow the carcass around.
So you
one
want
leg
to leave
removed.
that with your thigh.
Yeah, you wanna get that meat off. See,
Okay.
I could have got a little bit more. But that meat is delicious.
Okay.
That's part of
Yes.
the thigh, that's delicious.
Because sometimes when it's pre-cut, it's way more fat to meat ratio. So this
Right.
is giving you way
Yep.
more.
So now you
pieces
see,
you're gonna eat.
this is what we call the whole chicken leg.
Okay.
But the majority of the time, you're gonna see it come apart. So I'm gonna feel right there, and you can kind of see that fat line.
Yep.
That's where the line is to separate. My knife goes right through like butter because I went right through the joint. So now I have my drum, and I have my bone-in thigh.
Okay.
Okay? Good so far?
Yes. So
Easy money.
far we can do that.
We can do this. Okay, now, again, I'm gonna just pull that skin apart. I'm gonna come like that, okay? Now I'm gonna take that, again, I'm gonna put my finger on that bone, or I'm gonna pop that bone out of its joint.
Okay.
I'm gonna come around here, I'm gonna grab the oyster meat, I'm gonna follow the contour of the carcass and pull the other leg off.
Okay.
I'm gonna go right here and follow that line, separate my drum, separate my thigh. Boom, boom, boom.
Beautiful.
Okay, now I have my two breasts left remaining. Both which still have the drumette on, which is called the French breast or the airline breast.
Why
Right
the
here's-
names?
Well, airline breast because I think they used to serve it on the airlines, honestly.
See, that's why I went to baseball.
Yeah. Okay, now we're gonna come right down onto the kill bone. We're just gonna separate and divide that, okay?
Okay.
So I've got that divided like that, very clean. Because when you butcher, you wanna maximize waste. You don't want a lot of meat left on the actual bone, okay? I'm just gonna go around that bone right there. Come back through, and then that bone has a connection right here. So we just go through there and up, and there is your breast removed.
Okay.
And remember, this is a pretty big chicken,
It is.
so normally they're just a hair smaller, but this chicken definitely was eating well. And again, we want to go down through that bone there, pull that off like that. Now, if you think the carcass is waste, you're wrong. This is heaven.
It is.
So if you pull all this skin off and then try to remove some fat, okay, like this, but leave all the excess meat and things like that, and then you're gonna take your knife and you're gonna just kind of cut these bones down like this.
That's where it gets me.
Okay, now but it's easy. So now
Yes.
that right there is ready to go in a pot for your stock.
So I've oftentimes just left it whole.
You can leave it whole.
So why do you chop it?
I chop it like that because now I expose more of the bone, which will release into the stock better, and you'll get more flavor.
So, okay, just chop it. Heather, that's what
Chop
you're
it,
saying.
chop it, yeah, chop it. But you notice I used my more hardy knife to do so.
You did, not your fillet knife.
Yep. Okay, so now I will always remove the tenderloin because I don't like the tenderloin flopping around on my breast like that. And so that is an airline breast, very large airline breast. Okay, but a lot of times in the grocery stores you'll buy your boneless, skinless breasts and they'll be this big as well.
Yeah.
These are your chickens.
Do you find that some of them are filled with like salt solutions and things like that, where if you're buying
No.
it as a whole chicken, you get a little bit better?
You do. I think anytime you buy whole, it's fresh.
Okay.
No matter how you look at it, because it's whole.
Okay.
So it's intact still and everything's good. So anyways, just to review, you got your 2 drums, your 2 thighs, your 2 chicken tenderloins, your 2 wings, your 2 wing tips. Your drumettes are still attached. If you want your drumette removed, now you have your drumette off. This is great. Okay, if you want your skin off, you literally just now can peel that skin right off. Your skin is off, and now you have a boneless, skinless breast.
So you have butchered and gotten ready a whole chicken in less than 10 minutes.
Yes, and it costs you $7. And to be honest with you, this is 1 meal. The legs and thighs are 1 meal. The wings are appetizers for the next meal.
So, way to go. So
So
now,
it's a very good way to do this, okay?
buy a whole chicken.
Buy a whole chicken. But if I was to go to the grill today, right now, this very minute, which I'm gonna,
We're going to.
I would actually take thighs.
Yes.
Because thighs are the dark meat of love. They're so delicious. They're so moist. They're so much more forgiving.
I agree.
You overcook a breast and it's like the desert. It's like chalk in your mouth. It's nasty. Breasts are great. Cook them. Just don't overcook them. And certainly marinate them and mop them and flavor them and give them lots of fat and love the best you possibly can. Take a syringe and inject them full of butter, whatever you can do to keep these babies moist. But the thighs are so forgiving. You can just marinate them, put them on the char grill. The more char you get on them, the better they are. They're just delicious. So I'm a thigh guy, but all of the chicken is good. Hopefully this video helps you say, I'm gonna buy whole chickens and process them and use them. I'm gonna make my own stock for soups and sauces and other things. I'm gonna put them in quart containers. I'm gonna put them in the freezer. I'm gonna pull them out when I want. But this is how we think. This is how we think at Giddy. We use the tools, we use our brains, we use the food, and we make it happen.
We have a video last year that did like 3 different ways to do the chicken thigh, but we thought we'd add 1 more because why not?
Why not? So this is the new recipe.
Oh,
Honey
2021
habanero.
Chef Todd chicken thigh.
Honey habanero. So pinch of garlic.
Okay.
However many habaneros you can handle. But this is a habanero. Another name for it is Scotch bonnet.
Okay.
Okay, but it's hot.
Like, how hot are we
It's
saying?
hot.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go quite a bit.
You're gonna go hot. Do
I'm
you
gonna go
do
hot.
you find that sometimes adding too much heat just makes it so you can't taste?
No,
anything
remember I'm
else?
not marinating long, and for that habanero to actually get into the meat takes time.
Okay.
So the longer you marinate,
That's a good
the more
point.
spicy it's gonna be.
Okay.
Okay, and that's very important to note. Now, once you get all your flavors in, of course, you're gonna just do your
Massage.
thing. You're gonna push all those flavors in, all those habaneros in. Okay, now
That was
you're
a good
gonna
sound.
open up the cider. Cider vinegar and honey are a match made in heaven. They
Okay.
really are. So you're gonna put about 2 tablespoons. Keep going right there. Okay, now you're gonna mix that vinegar onto that chicken.
Would you do just like a white vinegar or red
Only
wine?
cider vinegar.
Okay.
Because cider and vinegar and honey are
Okay.
really nice combination flavor wise. Now honey, don't be shy on the honey, but remember the more honey, the more honey you put on the chicken, the more burning you're gonna have on the grill.
The sugar.
So remember that.
So this is
So we're gonna put about 3 tablespoons. Bless you.
Excuse me.
Bless you. Bless you. Awesome. Okay, that's good. A little more cider vinegar. Wow.
We're not 12.
Wow. No, but we act like it. All right, so now we got the thighs. Good little concoction, okay? So we've got habaneros, a little bit of parsley. We've got salt, pepper, pit seasoning, and habaneros, and cider vinegar and honey.
Okay.
That is the concoction for Chef Todd's new habanero honey thighs.
Okay.
Okay? Those go into the grill.
How long are you gonna leave it here?
46 minutes.
No, really. How long are you?
46 minutes.
Okay. Alexa, set a timer for 46 minutes.
46-minute marinade. Hit it on the char grill and hit it hard.
Let's go. You're gonna sing a song. Go ahead. Sing a song.
I'm good.
You've got to sing a song.
Chicken. I'm kidding. There's no chicken songs.
One of my favorite things to do for an easy weeknight meal is to smoke a whole chicken.
Smoke a whole.
It's so easy, delicious, and it makes
Mouth-watering.
every neighbor want to come over and wonder what's going on in your
What's
backyard.
going on that grill, baby?
Your house is a little further than your neighbors, than mine
Yeah,
is, but
yeah.
we're very close in Lehigh.
So,
There's a secret though,
we're
right?
going to talk to you about how to prepare your chicken for smoking
Okay.
or roasting.
Okay.
Okay. So number one, we want to season it and get it marinated, like flavored first, because I find it to be easier once it's kind of laying out like this
Okay.
to do it instead of later. So we're going to salt it heavily down in the cavity.
Kosher salt, Denver
Kosher
Crystal,
salt, yeah.
love it.
Kosher salt, lots of salt, because you want to get this baby salty. Not salty, but
Sometimes when I buy them,
Flavor.
they're still partially frozen. Is that something you're worried about
yeah,
before you're
just
cooking?
longer cooking time.
Okay.
It's fine.
Do you worry about some of the flavors, like?
Yeah, I would try to get them thawed the best you can.
Okay.
The best way to do it is, if you know you're going to smoke, pull them out the day or two before from the freezer
Got it.
and put it and thaw them in the fridge.
Okay.
So I've got salt, pepper, and now I'm going to put Chef Todd's pit seasoning all over. Aww. And it helps if you make that kind of sound effects.
Aww.
Aww.
Got it.
Okay, so you can see I'm not being wimpy
No.
on my seasoning. I want to season this up nicely and really get lots of good flavor.
And right now, you're really just on the outside.
Yep, and then I'm going to squeeze some lemon, but I can do that in a minute too. So I've got this lemon here. This lemon's going to go in the cavity.
Okay.
Okay, these herbs and onions.
Okay.
So I've got thyme, sage, green onions all right here. That's going to go down in the cavity.
And tell me what the purpose of this is.
So the chicken's going to be cooking, right?
Okay.
So you want as many aromatics in that cavity steaming and perfuming from the inside.
Basically like an oven in there,
Yes.
right?
So it's going to get warm and it's going to start to steam and perfume, which is fortifying and forcing the steam and perfume into the meat itself.
Okay.
Okay, so now I'm going to rub garlic on this bird as well. Put some garlic in there. Put some on its backside.
Oh, it smells so good.
It's nice, huh? Okay, whoa, tragedy. Sabotage Central. Okay, so now we're ready to truss. Okay, now on the trussing, take my glove off for that. On the trussing, you want string 3 to 4 times the actual size of your chicken.
I didn't really measure, so I hope that was right.
It's right.
Okay.
So we're gonna go like this, go around, down, under.
Okay.
Let me show you again.
Okay.
The legs are pointing towards, away from you.
Okay.
You come around,
You're not pulling
Like this?
crazy tight.
you come around,
Now pull it tight.
Now
Okay.
pull. Then you come around like this and grab the wings and tuck those babies in like that.
Okay.
And then we're gonna do a butcher's knot. Around once, around twice. Here, a little wingy. And now you can tighten that up. See that? Boom. And then one last knot. If you go around twice on that, it'll actually hold it together. Okay, so now what we just did, we created a chicken now that's gonna be more evenly cooked. See how it's like this and the legs and the arms and things aren't hanging out like this, going on with the smoke, okay? You actually want it nice and tight and brought together.
So
Okay.
it's because it will evenly cook better?
It's gonna evenly cook better and be
Okay.
more juicy.
Okay, so it's keeping everything.
Definitely be more juicy. Now, can you cook the bird without doing that? Of course you can, but you're only cheating yourself.
But you're also saving space.
And you're saving space when you get more birds on.
Yes.
Love it. Now I'm gonna put a little bit of oil.
Again, this is your sunblock at the very end, right? Keeping everything nice and moist and locked
And then we're
in.
gonna squeeze lemon.
Oh, this looks amazing. Why not?
This bird is now ready to be smoked, grilled on the smoker for 3 to 4 or 5 hours.
What temp?
Smoke, which is gonna
Really?
be about 210 to 215 degrees. And then at the end, last hour, I turn it up to 300.
Okay.
That's how I do it.
And we'll take it out there. We can talk about this when we get out
Yeah.
there. But tell me what I'm looking for. Where do I put a thermometer to know when this whole bird
Great,
is done?
great comment. You're gonna put a thermometer right here into the thigh going in and ending near the breast, because that's the most center part of the chicken. So if that's done, you know all the rest is done.
Okay.
And the problem is, if you put the probe right up here, this is gonna be done short, 2 hours, but the inside's still gonna be raw.
Okay.
So you wanna make sure your probe is always into the thickest part of the meat, or the more middle part of the meat, so that the middle is cooked.
Okay.
And that's your bird, very simple.
All right,
Thank
we're
you.
gonna take it out to the smoker and we'll see you out there.
Go ahead.
Now we're at the smoker. We're smoking our tomahawk steak. We've got some wonderful beer brats smoking over our salmon, dripping down onto that salmon. And we've got a chicken, whole truss chicken. Okay? Again, I'm gonna take the salmon, I'm just gonna put a little bit of this olive oil blend on here. It's got lemon juice in it. And just keep that really, really nice and moist. But that salmon is fantastic. That's gonna be eaten real good, and it's gonna be done in about 5 to 10 minutes. It's getting really close to being finished. That tomahawk steak is getting close to being finished as well. So on the sausages, just turn them. You can see you got, even on a smoker at low temperature, you still got good, nice, even, consistent grill marks. And these sausages, they're better cooked slower. And I've got them specifically over the salmon so that juice from the sausage will drip down into the salmon on purpose. Little grilling smoking trick. Honey habanero chicken thighs. Look how awesome. Out of the marinade, onto the char grill. And actually, you can't smell it, but I can. I actually smell charred honey and habanero right now. Really, really flavorful, really tasty. So the salmon's done. And you can see that the board, because we soaked it, obviously no burn. The salmon's cooked all the way through deliciously. Tons of moisture, tons of flavor. You just serve this whole board right there, boom, put it on the dinner table. Life doesn't get any better than this. We just pulled off the salmon from the smoker. I've got the tomahawk steak still on there. Look at that beauty. She's almost done, medium rare. And then the chicken and the sausage is going too. I could do the pork, I could do steaks all on this. But the difference really between smoking and a grill is the grill is definitely a higher, hotter, harsher environment, where the smoker's slower and lower environment, where the heat isn't so strong. And so you really got to figure out what you want. You won't get the char flavor on the smoker that you will the char grill, but you will get the smoke flavor, and the meat is always going to be moist because it's cooked at a low temperature. Where you can overcook your meats a little bit more on the grill, but you get that wonderful char grill. But the good thing about grilling, guys, is you can turn the heat down. It does have low. You don't always have to cook on high. You can cook tri-tip and pork loins on the grill just like you can the smoker. Just turn it down and go longer and slower, and you still are getting char smoke. It's just a different kind of smoke. It's char smoke versus wood smoke. So that's really the big difference. Smokers are lower and slower, and to be honest with you, I can't live without my grill, and I can't live without my smoker. So buy both. If you don't have both, come down to Orson-Gygi, pick one up. God bless. So back at our grill, guys, so a couple quick tips. Number one, your grill and your smoker are pieces of equipment, and they can get dirty. The more you use your grill, the more dirty it gets. You've got to break your grill down regularly, meaning after every 5 to 6 uses. Brush it out, burn it, pull the ashtray out, vacuum it, vacuum everything, put it back together about every 6, maybe 7 times, because that way it's going to be always consistent and it's going to run efficiently in how it's supposed to run. Okay? The smoker, the same thing. The smoker every 4 to 5 times is what I suggest on cleaning. You should change the drip pan, you should change your drip, you should vacuum out the ash with the shop vac. And it takes work, it takes effort, and nobody wants to do it. It's a pain. But you need to do it to maintain your pieces of equipment. Also, when you're loading a grill up, you can see that I've maximized my space. I got the top, I got the bottoms, but I've got air coming around all of my pieces of meat. You can see I've got them spaced out so that the heat is coming around, roasting evenly caramelizing evenly. These are in here. Yes, they're loaded, but they're not overloaded. So there's a difference. But these asparagus are near done. That's going to come off. The tails are getting close. They're about 5 minutes out. The potatoes are roasting nicely, and these pork tenderloins are near done as well. So anyways, don't overload your grill. And when you do load it evenly, make beautiful rows of things, maximize your space, but leave space so that the grill can do its job. You want smoke and char to come around that and really cook and heat that meat up and roast it evenly. But you can just see how flavorful and delicious all this meat is.
We hope we didn't overwhelm you with the possibilities of what you can do on the grill, but we also wanted to open your eyes to realize that everything is endless and you can do so much, like this whole plate of food.
Grilling is supposed to be fun, so remember, when you're going to the grill, select your meats carefully. Buy whole meats when possible and butcher and break down yourself. You'll save money and you'll have better quality. Remember when you go to the grill that you gotta clean your grill. Make sure that you clean your grill, break it down regularly, keep it maintained. When you go to the grill, remember, don't be a flop, use your mop. There's so many wonderful things grilling and smoking. It's just hard to wrap it all up, but we hope you've enjoyed the day and the videos. And also, we hope you enjoy Orson Gigi as much as we do, because it's our playground. Come down, buy the tools that you need to be successful. We have what you need to make all your grilling and smoking happy and memorable.
Just remember to enjoy the process, enjoy the people that you're cooking for, and food tastes so much better when it's made with love and excitement. So remember all those things and just get out to the grill.
Oh!